The silence before the storm. Imagine standing in a world where the sun simply vanishes. Not behind a cloud, but behind a suffocating, ink-black curtain that smells like ozone and ancient death. Right now, the strongest man alive is locked outside his own house while his students are trapped inside with a monster that hasn't eaten in 1,000 years. The sky is breaking, the forest is screaming, and a blood feud between sisters is about to reach its breaking point. If you think you know power, wait until you see what happens when the strongest finally loses his patience. This is Jujutsu Kaisen Episode 16. Lingering affection and the hierarchy of the sorcery world is about to be burned to the ground. Scene 1, the ink-black sky. The episode opens not with action, but with a terrifying, heavy silence. Above Tokyo Jujutsu High, a thick, viscous liquid. Cursed energy in its rawest, most concentrated form, pours down from an invisible point in the atmosphere. It hardens into the veil, looking like ink dropped into a glass of water, swirling and suffocating the sunlight until the campus is plunged into an artificial midnight. The visual is haunting, a reminder that in the world of sorcery, the environment itself can become a weapon of isolation. Gojo Satoru stands at the edge of this barrier, the dark energy rippling just inches from his face. He looks up, his expression unusually stern, devoid of his usual playful smirk. People often ask me what it feels like to be the strongest. His voice echoes in a cold, detached narration. They imagine it's a world of infinite possibilities. But in moments like this, it's a world of high-definition frustration. Jojo presses a hand against the barrier. Violet and crimson sparks hiss and crackle at the contact. With his 6 eyes, he can see the molecular weave of the technique. This isn't just a curtain. It's a masterpiece of exclusion. It wasn't built to keep sorcerers out. It was built specifically to keep him out. Someone has made a massive sacrificial vow, perhaps giving up their very life or sight just to buy a few minutes of time. They have locked the wolf out of the fold, leaving the lambs to face the dark alone. Deep within the subconscious of Yuji Awakens, sitting atop a mountain of bleached skulls, Ryam Sukuna lets out a guttural, mocking laugh. Look at them, Brad. Scrambling in the shadows of a curtain. They think they are the hunters, but the forest itself has grown teeth. Sukuna's eyes gleam in the darkness of the shrine. He smells something different this time. It's not the patchwork spirit, Mihito. It's the smell of the earth's resentment. Ancient, rotting roots. He mocks Yuji's racing heart, telling him that for the first time, his soul has finally met something that possesses the power to truly kill it. Scene 2. The Zenin Schism. A duel of regret. The scene shifts abruptly to a grove of bamboo, the green stalk swaying violently as Maki and Mai Zenin clash in a storm of steel and lead. The sound of metal on metal is deafening, echoing through the empty woods. Maki moves with the terrifying grace of a predator, her polearm a silver blur that deflects every shot with impossible precision. Mai is desperate, her breathing ragged, her fingers trembling as she frantically reloads her revolver, her face a mask of concentrated rage and sorrow. To Maki, this isn't just a physical fight. It's a flashback to the suffocating smell of the Zenin household. Incense, old wood, and stagnant water. It was a cage that told them they were born wrong because they were twins, a bad omen in the eyes of traditional Jujutsu Society. Maki remembers the look in Mai's eyes. Mai didn't want to be free. She wanted the comfort of the bars, the safety of being a servant as long as they were together. "Why did you do it, Maki?" Mai screams, firing another round that shatters a bamboo stalk. "You promised we'd stay together, but then you got that look in your eyes, that look of ambition. You left me behind to face their whispers alone." Maki doesn't just dodge. She weaves through the trajectory of the bullets, her physical senses heightened to a supernatural degree by her heavenly restriction. Because she has zero cursed energy, the world moves in slow motion for her. She can see the friction of the bullet as it cuts the wind. Maki slams the butt of her spear into Mai's ribs and, in a display of pure physical dominance, catches a constructed bullet in her bare palm. Blood trickles down her hand, but her face remains immovable stone. She didn't leave to hurt Mai. She left so she could one day return and burn the Zenin name to the ground. "Stay down, Mai," she whispers. "I have a special grade to kill." Scene 3. The Heart of the Panda. In another part of the forest, the ground is a graveyard of twisted metal and smoking debris. Ultimate Mekamaru is a wreck, his massive mechanical limbs sparking like dying nerves. Panda stands over him, his fur singed and blackened, his Panda mask cracked to reveal a more ferocious, beast-like eye beneath the surface. Mekamaru's voice crackles through his broken speakers, filled with a bitter, soul-crushing envy. "How can you be so content? You are an object, a doll. I have a human soul, but I'm trapped in a body that disintegrates if the sun touches it. I have to live through these puppets just to feel the wind. It's not fair." Panda shifts into his powerful gorilla mode, his muscles bulging and his voice deepening into a roar. "Listen, Muta. I'm not content. I'm just realistic." He explains that, as a sentient cursed corpse, he belongs nowhere. Not with humans, not with curses. He's a weirdo. But he tells Mekamaru that being a weirdo is better than being a bitter shadow. Panda then unleashes the unblockable drumming beat, a rhythmic strike where his cursed energy vibrates at a frequency that passes through armor. He hits Mekamaru's chest plate. Thump, thump, thump. The internal pilot's connection is severed, and the giant puppet collapses. Even in victory, Panda offers a hand of friendship, promising to visit Muta's real body for tea once the chaos ends. Scene 4. The Forest's Wrath. At the center of the forest, the atmosphere becomes heavy and suffocating. The special grade curse, Hanami, stands perfectly still as the ground erupts. Hundreds of wooden spikes, sharp as obsidian and thick as tree trunks, lunge toward Yuji and Tudo. Yuji is a blur of movement, flipping and twisting through the air, but the spikes are sentient. They curve and track his heat like heat-seeking missiles. Hanami speaks through mental projection, a voice that sounds like the rustling of leaves. It asks why the humans struggle so hard. To the curse, humans are merely weeds choking the beautiful garden of the earth. Hanami claims to feel no hate, only a divine desire to provide the silence that follows the storm. It wants to let the trees drink human blood, as it is the only useful thing they have left to give. Tudo, however, bursts into a manic laugh that makes his veins pop. "Did you hear that, brother?" The weed thinks it's a philosopher. He turns to Yuji with terrifying intensity. He tells Yuji that if he keeps using his lagging divergent fist, the curse will peel his skin off like bark. He demands that Yuji stop thinking of the punch and the energy as two separate events. They must be the same breath, the same heartbeat. Tudo issues an ultimatum: land a perfect strike in 60 seconds, or he will let the curse kill him. A brother who cannot evolve is no brother at all. Scene 5. The Microseconds of Destiny. Yuji charges forward, the pressure of the forest weighing on his lungs. Hanami launches Cursed Buds. Small, parasitic seeds that burrow into the skin and feed on cursed energy. Yuji doesn't pull back. He leans into the lethality, narrowing his focus until the world disappears. He remembers Nanami's words: the black flash isn't something you choose. It's a transformation that occurs when you stop being a human and start being a sorcerer. Time slows to a crawl. We see the sweat flying off Yuji's brow and the wooden fist of Hanami swinging toward his head. The gap required for the distortion is 0.000000. Yuji sees the spark. His hand begins to glow with a stable, intense blue flame. No longer flickering, but a solid blade of energy. He strikes with a perfect synchronized hit. The kinetic shockwave is so massive it clears every leaf and branch within 50 meters. Hanami's arm shatters into 1,000 splinters, and the special grade is sent reeling, carving deep trenches into the earth. Tudo claps his hands, his eyes glowing with a predatory pride. The real battle has finally begun. Scene 6. The Ten Shadows Sacrifice. In another sector, Megumi Fushiguro, Kamo Noritoshi, and a bloody Togei Inumaki are cornered by a massive wave of roots. Togei is coughing up blood. His voice is spent from using cursed speech. Kamo's vision is blurring from blood loss. Megumi realizes there is no escape and no time left for strategy. He begins to form a strange, claw-like hand sign. A suicide play he has kept hidden for the ultimate emergency. With this treasure, I summon. Suddenly, a pebble swaps places with Megumi. Tudo and Yuji appear instantly via Boogie Woogie at the last possible second. Tudo tells the Shadow Boy to take the others and get out of there. The stars of the show have arrived to do some serious weeding. Scene 7. The King's Voyeurism. Inside the inner shrine of Sukuna's mind, the King of Curses is lounging, his chin resting on his hand. He is watching the battle through Yuji's eyes, but his focus isn't on the special grade. It is entirely on Megumi. He is disappointed the boy was interrupted. You were so close, Fushiguro Megumi, he whispers. Don't let these idiots save you too easily. I want to see what that treasure is. I want to see you burn the world down just to stay alive. Sukuna's shadow looms over the entire scene, a reminder that this invasion is just a small part of a much darker game. Scene 8. The cliffhanger. Back in the forest, Hanami pulls its shattered limb back into its socket, the wood knitting together with a sickening crunch. The flower on its shoulder begins to glow with a sickening golden light, absorbing the solar energy and the cursed energy of the students. You are impressive, Hanami intones, but flesh burns. Suddenly, the black sky of the veil begins to crack, not from the inside, but from the outside. The pressure is so intense that the ground beneath everyone's feet begins to shake. It's not an earthquake. It's the sound of a man who is tired of waiting. A massive, white-hot beam of purple energy pierces through the black sky, turning the veil into dust and light. Floating in the center of the beam, high above the trees, is Gojo Satoru. He has removed his blindfold, and his 6 eyes glow with a godlike, terrifying intensity. I hope you all had your fun. Gojo's voice echoes across the entire school. Because now, it's my turn to play. Suspense and call to action. The god of the Jujutsu world has finally entered the chat, and when Gojo Satoru gets serious, the laws of physics itself begin to tremble. But while Gojo descends like a falling star, a darker shadow is moving through the school's warehouse. The Sukuna fingers are being hunted, and the real mastermind is still pulling the strings from the wings. Is Yuji ready to transcend his humanity and land the legendary Black Flash? Or is this all a trap to lure Gojo away from the school's deepest secrets? If you want to see the hollow purple erase everything in its path, you cannot miss the next episode. Make sure to smash that like button if you think Gojo is the undisputed GOAT of anime. Subscribe to the channel right now and hit the bell icon so you get the notification the very second the world turns purple. Don't be the only one left in the dark when the next chapter drops. Tell me in the comments, who is the real MVP of the Goodwill event so far? Is it Maki, Panda, or the brotherly duo? The next episode, Playing with Fire, is going to be the most explosive one yet. The gods have descended, and the demons are finally starting to run. To be continued.